Alpine A110 Cup Racecar. World Rally Champion in 1973, winner of the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1978 and World Champion in the LMP2 class in last season's FIA WEC, Alpine's success in motorsport has earned it a special place in the heart of racing fans. The brand has also spawned interest and enthusiasm in many amateur drivers, keen to enjoy themselves behind the wheel of attractive, light, and agile cars. It is very much in this spirit and in respecting this tradition that Alpine decided to create the A110 Cup, which will make its track debut in 2018. To ensure this new adventure is a success, Alpine entrusted Synatec with the design, development, production, and sales of the A110 Cup. The organization headed by Philippe Sinault, which is responsible for operating the Alpine A470S in the FIA World Endurance Championship, WEC, also has extensive experience in the development of customer racing products. In conjunction with the engineers who devised the production car, Synatec designed the racing version with a primary target: provide the drivers with as much enjoyment as possible, whether they are beginners or experienced. Armed with a precise chassis, a 270 HP engine for a weight of 1,050 kilograms, 3.9 kg/HP, uncompromising safety features and the kind of onboard electronics commonly seen in endurance prototype, the Alpine A110 Cup promises to deliver impressive performance. On sale at a price of €100,000 excluding tax, approximate £90,000, the Alpine A110 Cup will be taking part in a competition combining rigor and professionalism with a friendly, warm approach. Organized by Synatec over 6 rounds in 2018, the Alpine Europa Cup will visit 6 of the greatest racetracks in Europe. This FIA International Series recalls the Europa Cup held between 1985 and 1988 with the Alpine GDA V6 Turbo. Drivers keen to take part in the Alpine Europa Cup must express their interest soon, since production will be limited to little more than 20 cars for the first season. Bernard Olivier, Alpine Deputy Managing Director: the fact we have created the Alpine A110 Cup and a dedicated competition in which they will compete, the Alpine Europa Cup, is yet further evidence of our love of motor racing. We wanted the A110 Cup to be a genuine race car, a particularly refined machine equipped with high-end features geared towards performance. Alpine Europa Cup competitors will therefore be able to enjoy driving a very beautiful car, which will set new standards in terms of efficiency. The organization of the competition will also meet Alpine's demanding requirements, featuring rigor and professionalism on the track, but a fun and friendly atmosphere in the paddock. The Alpine Europa Cup will equally be used as a means of reaching out to our community of fans throughout Europe. Philippe Sinault, Managing Director of Synatec: here at Synatec, we are very proud to have been chosen to work on such a comprehensive project. From the design office to the assembly workshop, and including the team responsible for organizing the Alpine Europa Cup, all of our expertise has been brought to bear in order to comply with the specifications set out by Alpine. The A110 Cup is an uncompromising car as regards its features, with a key objective: provide drivers with lots of enjoyment. This can be seen in many ways, whether you consider perceived quality, the quest for efficiency, ergonomics, etc. Before a field of 20 or so A110 Cups line up at the circuit Paul Richard, we still have a lot of work to do, with the development and then production of the cars. It's an exciting challenge, both for Synatec and for Alpine. An accomplished racing car, the quest for a precise and efficient chassis. Built at Alpine's Dieppe plant, the Alpine A110 Cup's monocoque chassis has been modified to adapt the suspension geometry, reduce ride height, 40 mm, provide mounting points for the roll cage and adapt the rigidity to racing requirements, especially as regards the level of grip procured by slick tires. The design has also been managed as part of a partnership between Synatec and Renault Sport Racing, who provided their expertise and calculation facilities to the project. In the engine compartment, these modifications resulted in the fitting of specific side members. Connected to the rear part of the roll cage, these magnificently sculpted aluminium components, machined from a solid block of metal, enable the mounting point of the upper wishbones to be raised. The lower wishbones are attached to the 2 joint welded half subframes supporting the powertrain. At the front, these modifications have resulted in the fitting of a joint welded subframe and attachment plates for the upper wishbones. Supplied by Öhlins, the 4 spring shock absorbers are compression and rebound adjustable. Like the production car, the Alpine A110 Cup comes fitted with Michelin tires. Slick and treaded tires are designed to provide the best compromise between performance and durability. No compromise on safety. Very careful attention has been paid to the active and passive safety features of the Alpine A110 Cup. In order to meet the challenge of integrating a roll cage on an aluminium chassis, the engineers and technicians came up with an ingenious technical solution. During assembly of the monocoque at the Dieppe plant, steel plates are built into the structure, fixed by gluing and then bolting, and protected by an E-coat. These plates are then used as mounting points for the steel tubes that ensure the safety of the driver. Ready to race, the Alpine A110 Cup comes fitted with a set of premium safety features, specific belt bucket seat with built-in head restraints, 6-point Hans-compatible harness, automatic fire extinguisher, dry battery, master switch, etc. Like the production Alpine A110, the braking system is supplied by Brembo. Machined from a single piece of magnesium, the state-of-the-art 6-piston calipers hold imposing ventilated discs, 355 mm in diameter at the front and 330 mm at the rear. The Alpine A110 Cup is equipped with ABS and traction control systems, which may be adjusted or disabled. Specially designed gearbox and production engine. Under the bonnet, the Alpine A110 Cup is powered by the production car's 1.8-liter turbocharged direct injection engine. Fitted with an air filter and an exhaust specially designed for racing, the power of the Cup has been up to 270 HP, plus 18 HP, with its torque maintained at 320 Nm. Electronic management is provided by a state-of-the-art Magneti Marelli SRG 140 ECU, which also incorporates the engine and chassis data acquisition system. The engine is coupled with a 6-speed sequential gearbox, specifically developed as part of a partnership between Synatec and 3MO. It is equipped with a limited slip, self-locking differential. Welcome on board. The Alpine A110 Cup cabin has been devised to provide drivers with as much pleasure and comfort as possible. Securely settled in the belt bucket seat with a built-in head restraint, the driver is faced with an ZAP steering wheel, specifically developed for the Alpine A110 Cup and inspired by the one used on the Alpine A470. Like every other component on the car, this steering wheel features a perceived quality scarcely found on similar race cars. It features paddle gearshift controls, a digital instrument panel and a variety of useful control switches, steering mapping, traction control and ABS, pit limiter, radio, drink feed, etc. The adjustable pedal box and steering column help adapt the driving position to suit all shapes and sizes of driver. The Alpine A110 Cup keeps the original air conditioning system and allows for a second bucket seat to be fitted without modification for track experiences. An intensive development program. After completing its first track outing, the Alpine A110 Cup will undergo a major testing and development program. FIA WEC Alpine drivers Nicolas Lapierre and Nelson Panciatisai will work on the majority of the sessions, testing the car's reliability and defining the basic setup, which will then be communicated to all customers. In order to obtain a product that is as versatile as possible, other drivers, both professionals and amateurs, will be asked to take part in testing on a wide variety of tracks: Jerez, Magny-Cours, Motorland Aragon, Valencia, Portimao, Navarra, etc. Signatica's target is to complete at least 7,500 kilometers of testing, the equivalent of 3 full seasons in the Alpine Europa Cup. Alpine Europa Cup, an FIA International Series. In 2018, the Alpine A110 Cup will be exclusively marketed to customers entering the Alpine Europa Cup. This new competition will meet Alpine's demanding requirements and standards, with a professional, meticulous organization on the track and a passionate, friendly atmosphere in the paddock. Organized and promoted by Synatec, this FIA-approved international series will be contested over 6 meetings and 12 races. The season will kick off on January 2 June at the Circuit Paul Richard, France, before then continuing in Germany, the United Kingdom, Belgium, and Spain. A range of products and services are included with driver registration, driver overalls, an allocation of Alpine clothing and tools, access to the Alpine Europa Cup hospitality facilities, communications, Synatec, chassis, and Orca, engine, technical support, a mobile spare parts store at events, etc. Each meeting will feature 2 free practice sessions, 2 qualifying sessions and 2 races, with a total track time of 3 hours. 2 drivers may share driving duties for a single A110 Cup. 3 classifications will be drawn up: overall, junior, under 25 years old, and gentleman drivers, over 45 years old. At the end of the season, the top drivers will share more than €160,000, approximate £142,000, of prize money and prizes.